Call of Duty have just released a huge blog post with all of the information about Season 6 in it. Now, I'm not going to make you read all of that, so instead you can kick back and watch this video and I'll explain everything to you, as well as giving my thoughts on it, because I have some thoughts. There's some good stuff in this, some really exciting stuff actually, and some really bad stuff. And let's get one of the bad things out of the way. This season's going live next week, September 27th, so Wednesday at 9 AM PT, which is 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK. Of course, I'll be streaming it as soon as it goes live, but there's nothing for DMZ. Like, there's, you know, the normal stuff, new operators, new guns and stuff like that apply to all modes, but nothing specifically for DMZ. No new missions, no new locations, no new upgrades. It seems like there's really nothing. I'm sure there'll be some bug fixes and stuff like that, but it really does feel like DMZ's kind of going into life support. Now, in the mid-season update, there is some stuff. There's like a paragraph in this blog post telling us a little bit about what's coming then. But yeah, it's pretty bare bones, to be honest. And that's a bit of a shame. Now, this does support my idea that DMZ's done for this year. I kind of think with Modern Warfare 3, when we get the Warzone integration, DMZ's probably going to disappear. So at the beginning of Season 1 for Modern Warfare 3, I just think DMZ will disappear from the menu. With very little fanfare, they might be like, thanks for playing the beta, we'll come back to DMZ again sometime in the future. I've no idea when that could be. It could be like March, it could be like next year with Treyarch's game, it could be the year after whenever Infinity Ward do another game. Who knows? But it does feel a little bit like this is the end for DMZ. Now, I'm excited about the Modern Warfare 3 zombies. Like, I'm super excited for that. I'm happy to move on with the channel and stuff like that. We've changed a few times before. I started this channel doing Warzone Easter eggs, and then we moved on to doing a load of zombie stuff with Black Ops Cold War. Then we moved on to just playing Warzone with Vanguard, and then DMZ with Modern Warfare 2. I like keeping it fresh. I like playing new things, but I understand some people are going to be sad. So let me know in the comments what you think is happening to DMZ, but it doesn't look good. Anyway, let's get on to looking at the blog post. Now, I'm not going to read through the entire thing, because that would be very tedious, but I'll just highlight some bits for you. So first of all, this kind of summarizes what we're getting. Normally at the beginning of these blog posts, there's a big roadmap image with a list of all the stuff. It doesn't have that this time. And, you know, it makes sense. We're getting a new game soon. So we've got COD next in a couple of weeks. I'll be there in LA streaming from the event. It's going to be super exciting. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you catch all those streams. Also, go follow me on Instagram. I'm Geeky Pastimes there, where you'll see loads of the pictures and stuff of me meeting up with other creators. Going to be very exciting. But we've got that. Then you've got the Modern Warfare 3 beta straight after that, which is super exciting. People will be able to play it. And then the release of Modern Warfare 3 isn't that far away at the beginning of November. So it makes sense that this season would be a bit light. But it's crazy how light it's going to be. This, at the beginning of September, there's hardly anything coming to the game. And then at the mid-season, which is most of what this blog post is about, then we've got the Haunting, which is going to be a big deal. That's going to be exciting. So really, at launch, we're getting 4 new multiplayer maps, 3 new functional weapons, and, you know, then and more bit. But the Haunting's coming back in October, and that's the thing I'm most excited about. That's the best thing in this blog post. So, the Haunting arrives in Modern Warfare 3. There's a bit of a story to it this time. Apparently, there's a hellmouth opening in Al Mazrah. Creatures are coming forward from it, but also Spawn is coming back as well. And there's some lovely language in this. It'd be a crime not to read this little bit, because whoever wrote it has clearly been reading some Edgar Allan Poe or something. It says, "It appears a clandestine group known as the Dark Ritual Operators have located and opened a terrifying hellmouth. After the gate seals were ripped apart, a cacophony of otherworldly gurgling resounded, before a veritable panoply of the grotesque poured forth from their opened prison. All operators should ready themselves for Operation Nightmare and prepare to battle and repel these aberrant threats. Fortunately, in the ensuing chaos, the Dark Ritual Operators left the gate open in time for backup to arrive in the form of Spawn, the hellacious anti-hero who's now tasked with sending these monsters and their ilk back to the underworld." So, I mean, the language there is lovely, but it's cool that there's a story. This hellmouth has been opened by Dark Ritual Operators in Al Mazrah. Loads of creatures have come forward, including Spawn, and he's a big part of the Battle Pass, which for once, I would say the first time in Modern Warfare 2, the Battle Pass looks really good. I've been moaning a bit about the Battle Pass over this year. I just thought it hasn't been great value. Like, the stuff in it isn't very exciting. I haven't been excited to unlock basically anything in it, but this Battle Pass looks really, really good. There's some really sort of generous and fun stuff in there. So I'm excited about that. So, It's going to launch on September 27th, next Wednesday, 9 a.m. PT. So that's 5 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Patch notes will probably go live just before then. And it says, as the monstrous host begins to sink our master into perpetual and terrifying darkness, here's all the available intel. So we'll start off with Warzone. Operation Nightmare is like the new sort of haunting event that's coming mid-season, where you're going to be investigating eldritch anomalies, and we'll talk about that a bit more in a second. And there's a bounty board of otherworldly terrors, and it genuinely sounds fun. Vondel, so there's going to be a zombie outbreak across Vondel. Zombies coming to Vondel, sounds super fun. Zombie Royale's coming back for both maps. That's the one where if you die, you come back as a zombie. That's super fun. That was a main sort of feature of the Haunting of Verdansk and the second Haunting one. We didn't have a third Haunting, did we? Because I guess that was when Modern Warfare 2 came out. It came out like the day before Halloween. So we didn't really get a Haunting thing last year, I don't think. And it says Lockdown returns, otherworldly loot and events. Let's get into the details. Operation Nightmare in Al Mazrah in mid-season. We get the nighttime version of Al Mazrah, which looks super cool. It says, oh, you can see the ruined observatory is all bright red up there. I did wonder if that's where the Hellmouth would be down in that bunker. That would be cool. So it says, after the Hellmouth incident, we have an alarming report at the increasing frequency of several eldritch hotspots appearing. You are to investigate the anomalies as Operation Nightmare officially begins on October 17th, which is awesome because I'm back from LA by then. And the following recon's been obtained to offer a glimpse of the chaos. So, entities have been detected throughout the AO, and the redacted of each encounter will be referenced on your TAC map. So it sounds like there's a list of different things to go do around Al Mazrah, and they all sound pretty fun. So we get these bounties where there's a number of targets, and if you manage to do them, you get something, we don't know what it is, as well as a mastery weapon blueprint. And I'm hoping that'll be cool because it'll be like Halloween-y themed. So it says there's an ancient tomb complex that's been unearthed with hieroglyphs and something known as the Pharaoh, so like an Egyptian-themed bit. Witnesses report seeing strange lights in the night sky over somewhere, though unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAP, so that's the new fancy name for UFOs, is redacted, or orbs, so there's some sort of UFO type thing going on. Encounters with a spectral something, seemingly accessible with operative vehicles necessary to something moving at a rapid pace. So it sounds like maybe there's going to be like a ghost train. That's what I'm thinking from that. I'm thinking like Ghostbusters, is it Ghostbusters 2 with this creepy ghost train? Something like that would be cool, where you need, and if you need like vehicles to catch up to it and then like jump on board or maybe fight it or something, that sounds cool. Something in a swamp. An abomination known as the Swamp Creature. I keep hoping Swamp Thing from DC Comics will end up being an operator one day. No idea, but it sounds like something like that's going to be in there, which is cool. And then it says, observers in a redacted region describe a glowing wisp-like ethereal something, multiple hostiles, evil spirits, so some evil ghosts somewhere. Then outside stone walls, platforms of particular concern, the altars of Lilith. So this is something that's exciting. This is from Diablo 4. So this is a sort of crossover with Diablo 4, which is a Blizzard game. You know, Call of Duty's Activision Blizzard. Kind of makes sense that there's a connection there. But we're getting some Diablo content in this. A nightmare portal, and we know that that's kind of leading to somewhere, codenamed the Butcher. So the Butcher is a bad guy from Diablo. He's this like huge thing. In Diablo 4, he kind of just appears in your game randomly and chases you. He's got a massive meat cleaver. He's got hooks that he throws out and drags you towards him. He's really, really awesome. He's like the most kind of iconic, smaller bad guy from Diablo. He was a terrifying boss right back in the first Diablo game. Really exciting that he's going to be in the game. We're going to be going and fighting him. So it sounds like with all of these are basically specific like supernatural enemies that you're going to be going and fighting. And at least with the Butcher, it sounds like you're actually going to go somewhere to fight him, which sounds really awesome. Then you also get Vondel, which is a load of zombies in Vondel. Additional supernatural activities have occurred across Vondel, which has forced a complete evacuation of the city and surrounding area. A demonic incantation by a sorceress has unleashed a zombie outbreak, bringing nightmares to life as the canals of Vondel run red with blood. Up in the firmament, a rare blood moon hangs ominously in the sky, casting Vondel in an eerie scarlet-tinged darkness. So we're getting a nighttime version of Vondel with like blood rivers and stuff. Then there's a bit more talking about the graveyard in Vondel, and this is where we're also getting something to do with the Butcher. So it says, there's a source of power for these activities linked in some way to a feared entity known in myth and legend as the Butcher. Have you the skill and metal to summon this hulking demon, descend into the underworld to face him in battle, and reap the rewards if you dare defeat him. This sounds awesome. The idea you're going to go to the graveyard, do something there, and that will send you to the underworld, and you've got a boss fight with the Butcher. This reminds me a little bit of in Blackout, so Black Ops 4's Battle Royale. They used to have some zombie bosses, and it was wherever the zombies spawned, like in a graveyard, and they were really tough, like really tough, fast, scary enemies, and if you managed to kill them, you got some awesome rewards. So I'm hoping that's what this is going to be like really, really excited about that. Then we also get the Haunting Zombie Royale. This is just like the sort of thing that we've had before. Was super fun before. We had the Haunting of Verdansk and Rebirth of the Dead. It's like a Battle Royale thing, but instead of fighting in the Gulag, when you die, you come back as a zombie, and if you manage to kill operators or you find some dead operators, you'll be able to collect special syringes, which will return you back to life. It's super fun. I really enjoyed this every time it's been there. I think it's awesome. As a zombie, you can like jump super far and like swipe and kill people. You're actually really, really dangerous. I'm really excited about this. And it also sounds like you're going to get other stuff in there. I think they talk later about the idea of there being jump scares and stuff like that. Vondel lockdown's going to happen as well. So this is a Battle Royale mode where you have your loadout from the drop, and it says that you're going to capture and hold zones in there. I think this was something that happened earlier in the year. I didn't actually ever play Lockdown. Was it any good? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Sounds like it might be fun, but it's happening in a nighttime version of Vondel, so that's cool. And then there's special equipment and items coming to Vondel. There's also a pitch there of Ash from The Evil Dead, which is cool. He's one of the new operators. So it says, prowl the frightening gloom of Al-Mazrah and Vondel in search of more than just zombies and monstrous entities. There's additional otherworldly loot to gather and be wary of. So there's captured souls. You can pick up souls by racking up kills and defeating beings. These are instantly awarded, so you don't need to like drop them off somewhere. But you can keep them or trade them for a variety of impressive rewards after each match is complete. So I'm guessing that'll be, you know, calling cards and stuff like that. The revolting zombies roaming Al-Mazrah drop more than their entrails. Expect them to occasionally leave a strange-looking loot box behind, which can also be found around the maps. Well worth seeking out as it spills out plates, ammunition, and equipment, acting like mutated armor and munitions box. Take care when opening these boxes, or you could get devoured. So it sounds like they're going to be like a mimic. So there's going to be these special boxes, and sometimes they'll spew out loads of items, and sometimes they might try and kill you. That sounds fun. There's a Bloodseeker grenade, which is a bat, a vampire bat you're going to be able to throw that will chase enemies by the sounds of it. It latches onto enemies and highlights them in thermal vision. So if it attaches to them in thermal vision, you're going to be able to see the enemies, I guess, something like that. I'm not sure. But apparently it won't work underwater. And we're going to get the jump scares back. And I loved the jump scares in Haunting of Verdansk. I thought that was super fun. So I'm glad we're getting those back. You know, it makes for fun streams where I'm getting like scared all the time. And it makes me jump. It's cool. I like that. Then we've got the Haunting coming to DMZ. This is the only reference to DMZ in the entire thing. I've searched through the whole thing. So we are getting a Haunting in DMZ as well. It says, for Season 6, DMZ focuses on nighttime hunts for preternatural entities across the war zone of Al-Mazrah. Prep your team accordingly, as without the pressure of a collapsing circle of gas, DMZ is the ideal mode for obtaining intel on tracking down and finally neutralizing monstrous entities from beyond this world. Players can look forward to all the Al-Mazrah related events and other activities present within the Haunting, which will be coming to DMZ. So it sounds to me like there's not going to be like a new special faction or new missions or anything like that. Just all of the things that are happening in Al-Mazrah for the Haunting event are going to be in DMZ. So cynical people might look at that and think, well, they're just changing the map. They're just changing Al-Mazrah and they're making it so that happens in DMZ too. But maybe they'll do some extra stuff. I'm hoping there'll be a bit more to it. But it really doesn't sound like we're getting much for DMZ in Season 6. Like, this is literally it. This is all of the information for DMZ in Season 6. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, there's a bit more. We're going to fly through this stuff. Modern Warfare 2 overview. We're getting 2 multiplayer maps and 2 gunfight maps at launch. 2 Haunting map reskins, so like Halloween-y reskins, and then some different versions of modes. So the maps we're getting, La Casa, this is a new map. So it's saying that this is a Center of Paradise in Las Almas, Mexico, a brand new map from Infinity Ward. It says, you know, there's a bridge. It looks very nice, like a fancy estate. When I said estate, I thought it was estate, but it's not. It's just some new map. Then we're going Coro Village. This is a remake of a Call of Duty 2 map. Call of Duty 2 multiplayer was amazing. It was like, came out on the Xbox 360. It looked absolutely incredible compared to other first-person shooter games back then. I played a bunch of it. I kind of vaguely recognize the layout of this map, but I sort of remember being up on those walkways and stuff. But yeah, it's a long time ago, so you'd be forgiven for not having played this. 2005, I bet some of you watching this weren't even born then. But thankfully, I've got a very old audience, so lots of you will be like me and be like, I can kind of remember this. But anyway, it's a remade map. I'm sure it'll be fun. Then we're also getting King, which was a really fun gunfight map back from Modern Warfare 2019. And we're getting Fight, which is a new gunfight map that looks a bit like the first Al Masra Gulag, I think. It looks a bit like that. Anyway, then there's also going to be spooky versions of El Asilo and Embassy. So, you know, Halloween-y versions of those with painted and neon skulls decorating the landscape. And then the Embassy one says there's been a gruesome zombie attack at the Embassy. So that sounds like it could be fun. I think it is just a skin, but, you know, that's kind of fun. And then there's some spooky versions of different modes. Haunting Domination, where instead of a flag, there's a scarecrow. I'm not sure how much of a big deal that is, but there you go. And in Kill Confirmed, instead of dog tags, you collect skulls. Spooky. Haunting Drop Zone. If you hold a drop zone, you get some stuff, but when you open the crates, there might be jump scares by the sounds of it. And there's Haunted Infected, so you get the special zombies in an infected mode. That sounds kind of fun. Then there's some new weapons and stuff like that, so we'll just skip over that bit to show you it. There's the soul capture event. So like I said, you get souls in all different modes, and then you'll be able to unlock rewards in the events tab. There's daily login rewards where you'll get stuff. If this is one of the skins, that's a really cool skin. I quite like that with like the raven feathers and mask and stuff. That sounds cool. There's some new ranked play rewards, including this cool operator skin with the crown. I really like that. That looks really good. I'm not sure when you get that, whether it's because this doesn't actually say that you get an operator skin at all, but maybe there's some other way of doing it. I'm not really sure. I can't see any of it there. I'm just trying to look through. I can't see any of the operator things there. No, I can't find it there. Oh well. So that skin looks really cool, but I don't know when you get that or how you get that. If you know, let me know in the comments, as per usual. Then going back down, these are the new weapons. So there's the TR-76 Geist, which is a new assault rifle. Apparently it's cool. It delivers solid damage with a moderate rate of fire. Its compact design supports manageable recoil. Oh good, an assault rifle with a moderate rate of fire but little recoil. I mean, we've got loads of guns like that. I don't know. I'm struggling to think of new ways they could add weapons to the game that feel exciting. And that makes me a bit worried about Modern Warfare 3, where we know all of these guns are crossing over into Modern Warfare 3. How are they going to make new weapons that are exciting? Like, I don't know. But, well, we're getting this one, the TR-76. We're also getting the ISO 9mm. Looks like a little kind of Uzi type thing that I'm guessing will be a bit like the MP7, but maybe it'll be different. It's another ISO. And then we get the dual camas that are these tiny little scythes, which they look adorable to me because I can't help but think of them as scythes. I'm sure there's someone who's really into military history and is like, oh no, these are really sacred, honorable weapons or something. They just look like tiny little scythes to me, and that's quite funny. Then, this is the really exciting one. This is exciting for so many reasons. The Doom Chainsaw. We're getting the chainsaw from Doom. Now, this is exciting because Doom is a franchise from Bethesda at the moment. They're the ones that own it. You know, ID Software, who are owned by Bethesda, who are owned by Microsoft. Call of Duty is made by Activision. Obviously, there's meant to be this big merger between Microsoft and Activision. I'm wondering if they put this in the game thinking that merger would have already gone through by now. I've got no idea. Maybe by the mid-season when this is coming out, it will. It's going to be in a bundle. Apparently, it functions just like a pickaxe. They go to great pains to say this does not work in a different way to the pickaxe, so it's not sort of got special abilities because it's a chainsaw or anything like that. But it's super cool that we're getting this Doom bundle. And I do wonder if we're going to see more of these kind of Microsoft crossovers over time. Then we're also getting some possessed equipment, apparently. So there's a new field upgrade, the Sound Veil Scream, which is just like the normal suppression mine, but it will play spooky sounds instead, I guess. And a decoy grenade that will also make spooky sounds. It says inhuman and monstrous sounds along with it. And that's fun. Like, that's a fun thing. I wonder if it's like an actual new item, or it's just when you use the items in the event, that's what will happen. If they're actually new items that you can use all the time, I think that's pretty cool. I would use those. I think that'd be fun, especially the decoy grenade. Then we've got some new operators. We've got this weird semi-robotic version of Valeria. So it's got Valeria's face, but it's got like this weird translucent body where you can see a skeleton. Looks super weird, a bit spooky, but That's going to be the Black Cell operator. I think that's cooler than a lot of the Black Cell operators we've had before, where they're just a bit glowy and gold. This is kind of cool and freaky, so that's good. Then, this is really surprising to me. The Battle Pass, the operator for the Battle Pass, is Spawn. So it's not like before where, you know, the Battle Pass operator is just a character from the campaign or something like that. This is a character that I thought they'd sell as a bundle when they announced it, but it is just the Battle Pass operator, which is awesome. So you get his human version, Al Simmons, as a new operator, and then you also get Spawn at tier 0, so when you buy the Battle Pass, you will get him. Now, the one thing I'm really disappointed about with this Spawn thing is that the only thing I think is really cool about Spawn is his massive red cape. And he doesn't have that. He's just got like a little cravat, which is a bit of a shame. I guess it wouldn't work with the engine and stuff. They can't have players running around with a giant cape behind them, but it would have been cool. I kind of wish they did, but oh well. Anyway, Spawn is the new operator. And then in the Battle Pass, you get a burned version of Spawn. So I guess that's like how he became Spawn or something like that. Oh yeah, prior to his transformation Spawn, he was deceived and burned alive. You get Creepy Clown. Apparently this is like a villain in the Spawn comics. Violator, which is not a great name. But yeah, that's a clown version of him. And then there's a more demonic version of him that you're also going to get, a Koenig skin. That's a really cool skin. I think that looks really good. Disruptor, another kind of cool skin. So I guess he's another character from the Spawn comics. Soul Crusher, who's, you know, a guy in a gas mask, essentially. But still, another Spawn. I'm sure if you're a Spawn fan, you must be absolutely amazed by this, that there's a bunch of Spawn characters. Nikto Spawn, so there's like a more kind of a Spawn skin that's a bit more fitting in with Call of Duty for people who maybe don't want all of the city skins in there. Gaia, really cool one again. This looks like a character from like some of the enemies that were in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. But yeah, looks really cool. Said to be an earthen form of Mother Nature herself. So Gaia is an ancient goddess of considerable power. Looks kind of cool, a bit like an evil Groot. But that's coming as well. All of those in the Battle Pass. I think that's super generous, getting all of these like crazy skins in the Battle Pass. Normally we get quite boring ones, so that's really cool. Then it also says there's going to be some new bundles. Some characters from Diablo, that's awesome. Inarius and Lilith. So the two sort of, I still think of Inarius as kind of a villain. But two of the characters anyway from Diablo. I wonder if Inarius will have his massive glowing wings. That would be kind of cool. And will Lilith have her big demon wings? I'm guessing probably not, but it would be awesome if they did. I miss when we used to have those cool emotes in Blackout, in Black Ops 4, where you could do those crazy ones like having laser eyes or setting off a little nuke and stuff like that. That would be perfect for Inarius to be able to like unfold his crazy wings. Anyway, that's very cool. Skeletor, the bad guy from He-Man, he's coming. That looks like an awesome skin. A lot of these bundles look great. There's an Evil Dead 2 skin, so you're getting Ash, the version of him from Evil Dead 2. If this does well, they could do a million different versions of Ash, I'm sure. Alucard, who's from Hellsing. So that's, again, very cool, very different style. And the Doom weapon bundle. Sadly, we're not getting Doom Guy or like an Imp or a Cyber Demon or anything like that. Instead, it looks like you get the chainsaw and the shotgun. And it says an arsenal of gear, so maybe there'll be some extra stuff like a charm or something, I don't know. A little Caco Demon charm, that would look kind of cool. And then it just talks about like there being prestige and stuff like that. So that's everything. What do you think? Like, I'd be super interested to hear what you have to say about this. So all in all, I'm a bit disappointed about what's happened to DMZ. It does reinforce my thoughts that, you know, maybe DMZ's kind of on its way out. But it's a shame that next Wednesday, when we get the new season, we're not going to have new missions to do. We're not going to have new locations to check out. It will be a case of getting the new weapons. And then I'm not really sure what else. Maybe we'll play some multiplayer. Let's do some customs multiplayer and get you all in for that. I don't really know. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we're not getting much for it. But I am super excited for all that haunting stuff. I think the new Battle Pass looks great. So I'll be excited to work through that and play with all of those characters. I think a lot of the new bundles look cool. It's cool that we're getting a Diablo one. I think playing as Inarius will be fun. So yeah, there's some stuff to be really excited about, but I think everyone's attention is now going to be kind of on Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 3 Zombies and COD Next and the beta and all of that exciting stuff. So if you want to see the content for that, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, follow me on all of my socials, because when I go off to LA, there's going to be a ton of content on all of my different channels. So make sure you follow me here on Twitch, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, bloody everywhere.